I just installed dedicated tech storage in my base. It's nice and flush with the floor. I've been wanting to do this for a while. I've just been hesitating because I wasn't sure how to do it actually. But let me show you how I did it, so if you want to try this too, you can do it. So let's get started. I'm Corsair Hugo, and I'm playing on the Arkade Arc servers. Okay, I'm Corsair Hugo, and I'm going to show you how to put dedicated storage in your floor and get it nice and flush like this. If you've wanted to do this and found that there's some complications to that, I know what you mean. So, step number one, you have to have foundations that have room to do that. In other words, you can't be putting your dedicated storage into the through the mesh. You have to have space underneath there. Let me pick this up and show you what I mean, because I couldn't put one in this space because you can see the ground at this point is up higher than the thickness of a dedicated storage. So, but the ground slopes from here, that direction, and then that direction, such that it allows me to sync those to a level where I need it. Shoot. Sorry. Let's put that back the correct way. It snapped to the wrong snap. We want to snap to these foundations and put the dwarven skin back on. Okay. So, you understand that? Your floor needs to have enough space from the top surface down to accommodate the dedicated storage. In my case, I have foundations that have enough height. Here's a half a foundation step down, and then a full step down. Because of the terrain I have, this is just how my base was built. I didn't build this with sinking dedicated storages in mind. It's just how it developed. So it worked for me. Let me do a little demonstration here real quick. Remove this wall so you can see what I'm talking about. So way over there, let's get the pointer. That's a full foundation. A lot of the building on over that way is at that height. Then I come down half a wall, a quarter wall height. Not quarter wall height. Quarter wall. Yeah, it depends upon where we put the comma in that sentence. Height to get that, and then this would be a full wall height down from the rest of the floor. Okay, and then you can see the metal foundations I have in here are higher than the standard foundations for the building. So how do you get this height? Because as you know, you can't place something attached and adjust the height. If I try putting a foundation next to this, it's going to snap to this height or one of the other foundation heights around it. So that's the trick, and I'm going to try to demonstrate how we do that. I'm working with a pickup gun out. Oh my gosh. Put that gun away. Put that away. Alright. And you're taking advice from me. Okay. Alright, so hopefully that clears you up a little bit what I mean about having depth underneath your face surface of your floor. Obviously, if you don't have enough floor or underneath, you can't do this. So here I'm setting up a little demonstration area. This is going to be our example floors if you had a base like this and you wanted to sync your dedicated storage. Sorry about that. Let's say here, we'll pick this up. And of course, if you try to put in put the gun away. If you try putting your dedicated storage in here, let's take Q. it's going to be way below the surface. Okay, you think, oh, let's do the floor like that. Put the gun away. Cancel all that. Nope. Just dedicated storage. Still too low. Alright, so now what do you do? Well, let's get to that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out here, put this gun away. I'm going to come out here and I'm going to work out this area out here where I got some more space. Alright. Because this little trick I'm going to show you, if I stop pushing the wrong button, it requires a little bit of space around you to do this. ARC's always had its little quirks on how you do things to build, and this is one of them. So this foundation right here is on the same grid as those. It's half wall height lower because of the natural snaps you get from foundations. If you have a situation like I had a difficult situation here, you have to find workarounds. When I did mine, I came off of this foundation and then I immediately had to put a triangle section and work over here because of the terrain I have. And then once I got the height I needed, I just went back the same direction, reversed the thing, reversed the foundations. Eventually I had to take up the one that's underneath here and bring the layer of foundations in at the correct height in this whole area here, pick up the one temporary one and replace it with a final one. And so yeah, it takes a little bit of work. It's not 2 snaps and you're done. Okay, so how do you do this trick that you're talking about raising foundations? We're going to do this. We put on a quarter foundation. Then we go to the fence foundation. And we want to place one like that. And so these are in line. And then we go to a dino gate. Hold down the Q button so I'm snapping. This is probably one of the most frustrating parts, is getting these to go where you want. Another dino gate, or sorry, fence foundation on this side. And this isn't going to make a lot of sense to begin with, but once I do this, I'll do this a couple times and then you'll see. Then you put a quarter wall off the fence foundation. And yeah, I gotta do a quarter. And then come back with a foundation off that. And voila! Look, that one is higher than this. What? What type of black magic is that? Well, and I can't take credit for figuring this out. I picked this up off of a video by Kraven. I'm putting this out here because personally I thought his was a little bit hard to follow. And I know this, I say that, and you're probably, yeah, yours isn't that much better. But let's repeat this again. And hopefully if I do it slower this time, it'll make a little bit more sense. Let's get rid of the gun, place that, take out the gun, move that. Okay, so to recap what I did, I had my foundations. I came off of one that's half the height lower over, so this is still on the same grid. And then I did this trick. Let's go through the trick again. And by the way, this height, even though it's a little bit higher than the original one I did, this is not the height you need. You got to repeat this multiple times until you get where you need. That was the first time. And this time will count. So when I'm done, I can tell you exactly how many times you need to do this. I don't remember. Mine was a little bit of trial and error when I did it myself, so kind of lost track. Okay, foundation, quarter foundation, and then you do a fence foundation, or fence support, I should say, off of that. It's, if you pull up the metal fence support, you have to hit the R to get to this one. Just like whenever you do the quarter foundation, you get the triangle and you hit the R until you get the small one. If you're wondering how you get those. Okay. Then we go to the dyno gate. You clip to the, or snap to the fence support. You put it in line, and you gotta keep these in line, or else you'll wind up off some wild angle. There you go. Okay, so foundation, quarter foundation, fence support, dyno gate off that, and look, you can see, it's hard to see, but it's raised up a little bit. Now, how do we get that translated back to foundations? Well, you have to put a fence support, you have to reverse the process now. But how do you snap that to there and keep the grid how you need it? We're going to put down a quarter wall, followed by a quarter foundation, and finally a full foundation next to it. And voila, raised higher than the original. So let's pick these up and rinse and repeat. So that's the second one. Oop. Gotta be careful when you're using the pickup gun. If you're not playing on an arcade and you don't have a pickup gun, it does the same thing as going over to something and just doing the wheel, holding down the E button and doing the pickup. I don't want to do that right now because I'm already 2 levels higher than where I started. Alright, so we're 2 higher. I'm pretty sure we're not at the right height. Matter of fact, after this next one, we'll maybe take it over, work it back, and do a little experiment to see where we're at. So, foundation, quarter foundation, fence support, dyno gate, come on, snap like I like it. No, yes. Alright. Sorry. Squirreled there a minute. Looked over to see the chat. Is that in line? Yeah. That's important. Make sure you keep things. You can always start over. You're not. If you mess it up. I want a quarter. Okay. Okay, so this is the third one. Let's pick this up. Put that down. And let's get rid of those. And just for heck of it, you can see we're still lined up on the same grid as the original. We've gone up 3 higher. What am I doing? I want this dedicated storage, not that. Let's see. And we can see we're still not at the right height. We're getting closer. Whereas, can I get this to snap down to the original? See, that's how far we've come on 3 raises. Let's hold down Q. Excuse me if I'm being so that's where we started. Now we're here. To me, it looks like we've gone up maybe. We might need to do 2 more raises. So we've done 3. Looks like we might have to do 5 total. Okay. Let's leave that foundation there. Might have to pick that one up, I'm not sure. Get rid of the gun before you do something dumb. Put quarter. Fence. Oh, I took the snap off. Like, why wasn't that going where I wanted? Q. Okay. Fence. So why are we going through all these steps to get that? Why, isn't there an easier way to us? Maybe. I'm not going to say that there isn't. This is the way I've learned how to do it. So this is what I'm showing you. And if you have a better way of doing this, I would like to see it or hear about it. Okay, so nope. Yep. And once again, we're a little bit higher. Let's pick that up. Voila. Okay, so I think we need to go probably one more step. Whoa. One thing you don't want to do is overshoot it, because if you do that, you're pretty much having to start over again completely. So let's just do a quick, doesn't take that long, we'll just do a quick test here. Yeah, you can tell we're still, oh, we might have to go 2 more high. Q. See, I think the last time we were pretty much, yeah, I bet you it's going to be 2 more. So that was number 3, I think. I lost track again. Well, good thing is I have a video. We can go back and count this. So this is the next one. And we Q. Nope. I tricked myself. Sometimes this snaps like really easy, and other times it fights you the whole time. I'm probably missing something obvious here. Okay, just had to toggle through the cues. Q can be your friend. Unless you're on Star Trek. If you're not a Star Trek fan, you just disregard that. It's not going to make any sense. Q is a character, bad guy. Essentially bad guy. Depends upon your point of view. Okay. Okay, once again, we've raised the foundation. We're going to take that one up. We'll put one down. Oris has appeared on the arc. Yay. Pick that up. And why? I might as well just use the gun, it's quicker. Shall we check it one more time? Why not? Just be consistent. So this is number 4, I think? 4 or 5. I've lost track. Looks like it's going to need one more. Getting close. But if you are like me and can't keep track of something that you're doing, you can just keep going back and checking. Alright. Quarter foundation. Fence foundation. hold Q for snapping. No! You're not the chosen one. Okay, Q for snapping. Q, 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 Q. Yes, 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 yes. And you're probably saying, Hugo, you're nuts. Why? I would never do this. Well, sorry. If you're puller compulsive as I am, you might do this. Once you kind of get this down, it's not that hard. It's just getting the sequence of doing stuff. You go, your foundation, quarter foundation, fence support, dynamic fence support, quarter wall, quarter foundation, back to foundation, over and over again. And as long as you keep everything in the same grid pattern, we're all good. Let's pick that up. Are we at the height we need? I'm gonna guess yes. Am I right? Let's take... Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Now, your question is, how do I get... What's that do? How's that getting me to where I need to be there? Well, you're gonna have to pick up one of your base foundations. And as long as you have all your walls attached fine and stuff, it shouldn't be an issue to walk that in there like that. And then you just pick up this, for example. And excuse me while I scroll around. Then you can put back your... cut the gun out. You can put back the foundations. Don't do like I do. And so you can see how far I've raised from the original foundation up here. And now we have this in there. And we're going to... Oh, I don't need to go there. I got it right in my hotbar. Place this in here. And I'm going to just shove it back in a corner there. You know, the snapping off. And then I'm going to... One thing I noticed too is you want to make sure that they're snapping to each other if possible. It just makes it look neater when you're before you're done. Because I got halfway through mine and realized mine weren't snapping. Am I just not seeing this? I'm trying to get so they're touching there, but I mean this will work either way, but I'm trying to make it look a little neater. Here, just do that for now. Okay, you go fine, and another one doesn't. Alright. This makes me wonder. Why? Why are you doing this to me? I'm your friend. Be my friend. Okay, so that one's off. So. Wonder, oh, you know what? I have the Q. No, that doesn't help. Okay, yeah, I remember. So you might have a little bit of fun with trying to get these to snap where you want them. In any case, I think you get what I mean. It's not impossible to do, it just takes some playing around. Because of arc snapping. It works, honestly. It's good. You know what, I might have that one snapped on. here's a working example. All of these, you know, that's a good point. Like, see how, yeah, I think I see what I need to do here. You can see that, like, almost corrugated looking edge around the box. Oops. I need to have that on all of them. Let me pick these back up. Number 7. And I gotta take off the snap to get it in the corner. Let's try to get it placed as such. Why? I don't know. Okay. Hold Q to get this snapping again. Oh, I had it there. I know. Hitting Q doesn't get it to move. It wants to keep snapping to the... So, if you have enough room in your base, I'm doing this the hard way. If you pick up... Let's do this. If you pick up the adjacent foundations, this is going to go easier. Because now it's going to snap right to the... He said... Okay, now we can put these foundations back. Oops, one more. Okay. Yeah, that's the trick you have to do. You have to pick up the foundations that are adjacent, because it keeps trying to snap to stuff you don't want it to. So that's how you get your dedicated storage to be nice and flush and on the same grid, to get the foundations on the same grid as the rest of your flooring. This is Corsair Hugo. If you have any questions about how to do this, just leave a comment below and I will get back to you. I'll try to get you some help. In the meantime, if you would click the like button below, I would greatly appreciate that. Subscribe if you'd like to see more content, or if you have other content you'd like to see, leave a message. Let me know.